What's going on, everybody? My name is Elias. Welcome to the YouTube channel. This is the first video of the channel. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how I went from skinny to swole and how Damien and Dom were also able to transform their physique. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, this is the unbreakable method. In this unbreakable method, I'm going to show you how I went from being skinny and insecure to a swole natural bodybuilder. When I first started out, it was 176 pounds. Right now, I'm between 207, 210. But a little bit of backstory about who am I. I've been a natural athlete for the past 7 years. 3 years ago, I dove into the world of natural bodybuilding because I wanted to learn how to train, how to optimize my nutrition, but most importantly, build a physique that resembled dedication and sustainability. And along the way, build the mental toughness needed to overcome the internal and the external challenges that comes with any fitness journey. Since I was the one with fast metabolism, I was your skinny fat kid. I started following all the trend diets about how to get results quick because for me, it was imperative to build muscle fast. I tried all the workouts, all the trendy diets, but little did I know, those weren't meant for me and they led me nowhere. I was stuck, I was discouraged, I was lacking confidence to continue. It took me a year almost to decide that I needed support, that I needed guidance that was going to set me on the right path on to building the physique that I was proud of, because no matter how much I trained, how much protein I ate, I just couldn't build muscle. You and I both know that results are earned, they are not given. Like many of you who are in the exact same position as I was, you're sick and tired of being stuck. It was only until I allowed myself to be taught that I learned these 3 steps that I'm about to show you that boosted my progress exponentially in my physique. I learned how to eat, I learned how to train, I learned how to adjust my training as I advanced. So I saw the potential in myself and I put that potential to the test on a bodybuilding stage, and thank God I was able to prove that with dedication and execution, you're able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself because of the mental resilience that you build along the way. And you're going to be able to do that too, because today I'm going to walk you through how I, as a natural athlete, as an ISACPT, am able to help busy professionals transform their physique, optimize their nutrition, and staying accountable without them having to sacrifice their social life, the foods that they like, without having to do long, strenuous workouts, and restrictive dieting, which is the worst. This is only done because they are able to learn how to forge the sustainable habits that prevents them from relapsing or plateauing. The unbreakable method. This is the method that Damien and Dom both used that allowed them to lose 20 to 30 pounds and build lean muscle mass, lose 10% of their body fat. You and I both know that everybody has a different background. Everybody has their own story. But if the approach is the correct one, the results can be achieved just like they did in 180 days. But you first need to know this. The unbreakable method is not for people that are looking for fat diets to get the results fast. Is that for you? If that's you, that's not for you. If you're wanting to listen to something similar to a specific guru that you've listened before, this is not for you. If you're not ready to spend at least 3 to 4 hours in the gym working out or doing some sort of physical activity, this is not for you. If you're not willing to practice restraint, stop eating junk food, this is not for you. If you're not committed to improving your physique, to become a version of you that you're proud of every single time you look at yourself in the mirror, this is not for you. So the unbreakable method, there's 3 steps. Step number 1, you need to know your body type. Why? Because time and time again, it is shown that consistent physical training, habitual changes to nutrition, to your eating patterns, have a strong influence and impact in your body's composition. Conditions such as high blood pressure, hypertension, hypothyroidism, type 1, type 2 diabetes, all of these fall in within the realm of improving just with physical training and optimal nutrition. Why? Because the body is in a constant state of homeostasis. What does that mean? It means that it's always seeking to equilibrium. But it takes time. It takes time to change the habits to make up for this change. And once this change is achieved, once the metabolism adjusts to the new energy intake, your body type will be able to shift towards a different body type. And there's 3, the ectomorph, the mesomorph, and the endomorph. The ectomorph is a guy who is a hard gainer. He has a hard time building mass. He has a hard time building his physique. Why? Because his joints are small. So his training should be structured around compound lifts that are multi-joint lifts. And his eating regimen should be in a surplus where his carbohydrates go anywhere from 50 to 60%, and the rest of the macronutrients, the proteins and the fats, are divided equally within the spectrum. The mesomorph, that's a guy who has the best metabolism, the genetically gifted guy because of how well structured his joints are. and he only has to decide what he wants to do: build muscle, lose fat, or maintain. It only depends on adjusting his caloric intake to what he wants to achieve. The endomorph. This is a guy who has a slow metabolism because of his sedentary lifestyle, and he gains weight easily. So the guy who has an endomorph body type, his aim usually is to lose weight and even to build muscle and retain muscle along the way. Why? Because with the high protein diet that goes anywhere from 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, this is possible. And they balance the carbohydrate intake and the fat intake by still remaining in a deficit, a negative energy balance. The training remains the same: strength resistance based out with interval training in between. So you need to define your body type because you have a goal. Your goal may be to gain lean muscle mass, lose fat, look more toned, or simply recome to a desired healthy body state that you know that you have. And this goal, it will not only improve your physique, but it will also improve your self-esteem and your mindset, because it will require a ton of discipline for you to sustain the habits that lead towards that goal. In my case, I wanted to put on lean muscle mass, build a proportionate physique that would help me boost my confidence without feeling intimidated by how my clothes fit. But you need to know your struggles. Perhaps you gain weight too easily because you binge eat, because you think that you're hungry when you're actually not, and you're so afraid to step on the scale or look at yourself in the mirror. Or perhaps no matter how much protein you eat, no matter how much you train, you just can't build muscle as much as you would want to. You stay in this skinny fat phase, and that was me. Most people just want to get back to that healthy body state that they once had in the past, where they could fit in their clothes without them having to worry about how they look in them. But you need to make changes. What must happen is you must determine your body type. You must know how to eat, how to train. And this will save you time and energy with guessing what works through trial and error. Once I knew that I was an ectomorph, how I needed to eat and how I needed to train, but most importantly, the habits that I needed to build, everything changed for me. Step number 2, you need to learn how to progressive overload and master your training. You and I both listen progressive overload a million times, yet we still do it incorrectly. There are 3 different ways that you can progress in the gym without necessarily adding weight. The first one is the reps progression. That means that you increase the reps with the same weight. That challenges the muscle still to adapt to higher stress because of the demand, not only by adding weight. You can add weight, maybe 5 pounds every 2 weeks, but this is how you can progress with doing more repetitions with the same weight, and that promotes muscle growth. And it even stimulates more muscle growth. Tempo progression, that refers to the eccentric phase of the lift. This is a key factor for muscle growth. Keeping the eccentric phase anywhere between 2 to 4 seconds is generally sufficient, because this allows the best contractile activity and it maximizes your motor unit recruitment. The exercise progression is as simple as moving from one exercise to a more challenging one. Example is, you do body weight pull-ups, you move to weighted pull-ups. This will trigger hormone responses to support your muscle growth and strength gains, okay? And step number 3, you need to dial in your micronutrients. This is where everybody usually messes up. Why? You need to understand the role of each macronutrient, because once you understand that, this will help you create an effective and sustainable diet, meal plan, nutrition plan, because the macronutrient, they directly influence your energy levels, your body composition, and the overall health outcomes. Remember, the term macro refers to large, meaning that the body requires large amounts of these nutrients to be able to function optimally. Comparing them to the micronutrients such as the vitamins, minerals, the antioxidants, which are still needed and they're crucial, they're needed in smaller amounts, because the micronutrients, they support the biochemical processes. So remember, there's 3 macronutrients: the proteins, the fats, and the carbs. But the proteins, I'm going to start off with this. You must understand, proteins are not a fuel source. The main role of proteins is to supply amino acids, which are used for structural and mechanical processes that promote muscle protein synthesis and prevent cannibalism, which means losing muscle. And just remember, again, I'm going to mention it again, protein is not a fuel source. Fats play a huge role in storing energy. They promote hormone regulation, physiological maintenance, but 1 gram of fats, it has 9 calories. The carbs, this is your body preferred fuel source, okay? Because the main function of carbohydrates is to provide you with enough energy by supplying glucose to the tissues and storing it as glycogen for later use. So once you get into calculating your caloric needs, you must determine how much not only of your BMR, your resting metabolic rate, but also the activity level factor, which includes non-exercise movements that contribute significantly to the overall calorie burn. Because remember, you burn more calories after you work out, okay? Once you determine your caloric energy expenditure, your macronutrient distribution is divided into the specific body type, your fitness goal, and once that's dialed in, you're all set to go. So how do we put this all together? How do we build your physique? Step one, you go into this recon phase. The first 4 weeks of the mesocycle is just to focus on the body to adapt to the high demands of strength resistance training that promote hypertrophy. During this phase, the goal is also to develop key nutrition habits such as tracking food intake and preparing meals. This adaptation includes adjusting to a caloric intake based on an individual body type and energy needs. By the end of this phase, muscle growth should be stimulated. Any excess fat, if present, which most likely there will be, should be reduced. This period will serve you as a foundation for building improved physique, setting the stage for more advanced progressions in training and nutrition. So now step number 2, the surplus of the deficit. The deficit is going to just focus on fat loss at a sustainable rate, not fast, because remember, what comes fast goes fast, while maintaining muscle. Strategic training with optimal volume and intensity at the intervals that will enhance your aesthetic, will enhance your tonality. Diet breaks that will help you reduce the mental stress of being in a deficit, and making the lifestyle habits outside the gym, prioritizing those so you can get better at not binge eating. The surplus phase, we will aim to build muscle with minimal fat gain. Compound lifts are prioritized with strategic exercise selection. Weak points are addressed. Cheat meals are used strategically because we're in a surplus. You want to enjoy that you're eating. And low intensity cardio that will help you maintain balance and stay in this lean phase, still in a surplus. Both phases, they will emphasize on progressive overload and precise nutrition tracking for your optimal results. And step number 3, this is where we decide to main gain or lean bulk, because you cannot stay in a deficit forever. The main gaining phase is just focusing on steady progresses that towards your physique, your progress that you've achieved already in your physique during these 2 phases, while avoiding past unhealthy habits because you've already built them along the way. Nutrition is adjusted accordingly. Those who are aiming for muscle growth stay in a slight surplus, and those that are focused on losing weight and fat loss, they maintain a slight deficit to just preserve muscle and still reduce body fat at a sustainable rate. In the background, you must work on your mental side, because not all progress is going to be linear. There's going to be moments where you're going to maybe stagnate, maybe not go as quick as you would want to, but you need to learn how to perform at your best level possible, despite what everyday challenge comes at you, because you can start to dive into overreaching and overtraining, and you don't want that. You want to avoid that. So how do you develop mental toughness? There's 4 C's that play a huge role into this: control, commitment, challenge, and confidence. So control, we're talking about what do you feel that you can act with a sense of ownership over your emotions and the situations that you're going through right now. The commitment is your persistence in pursuing the meaningful goals despite the adversities that come your way. And the challenges is every time you perceive a challenge, don't perceive it as a challenge, perceive it as an obstacle that you can overcome, an opportunity that you can conquer. And the confidence means build a belief system that you can prove to yourself that you can perform no matter the circumstance. The ultimate goal of the unbreakable method that Dom and Damien use and all these other people use is to build the foundation by removing the habits that led you where you are right now, while building muscle and guiding you through the process. Why? Because this is how you're able to make this sustainable in the long run. So now that you know how the unbreakable method works, how the process looks, I have an offer for you. If you're skinny fat, if you're overweight, if you're tired of a physique that makes you feel insecure and dissatisfied every single time you look yourself in the mirror, and you're ready to commit, to make the change, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and feel accomplished and say, I did it, and I did it for me. I'm able to be a living example, a walking billboard, not only for myself, but those around me, those in my community, those in my social circle, to inspire them, to encourage them that they can do better, that they can also make the change, not only in the physical, but in the mental. Follow me on Instagram, book a call with me so I can help you, as I've helped others, achieve the transformation, not only in their physique, but in their mindset. This will serve you for the long run, and I know that it will benefit you forever. This is Dedication Elevation, the unbreakable method, and I'm so happy to be able to help you. So let's get going.